Well, hello everybody. So I started a YouTube channel, a Booktube channel, and I forgot to make the Booktube Newbie Tag video. Oh my god, how could that happen? So I have to do it today, I guess. I'm on one of my favorite walks, my so-called Corona walks that I do for leaving my home office at least once a day for like 2 hours. And I'm answering your questions, or the newbie Booktube video questions, once at a time. 10 questions, 10 answers in different surroundings. See you soon. The first question is pretty easy. Why did you start a Booktube channel? Well, apparently I love to read, like everyone else who starts a Booktube channel. And because I don't have so many people in my vicinity that read the same kind of books or the same amount of books, I thought this would be a good idea to get in contact with other people and to see and meet other people who have the same interest as I have. So that's one of the reasons I opened the Booktube channel. Another reason is that I would love to spread the joy of reading to other people. So I guess that's the reason why I start a Booktube channel. And coming down to the Lake Mälaren, it's time to talk about question number 2. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? Well, fun things. I'm a German living in Sweden. That's probably unique because I think I'm the first German living in Sweden who starts a Booktube channel in English, hopefully. Fun is, well, unique is probably, nobody is that unique, but I think there's so much different personalities on Booktube, and I really enjoy to see all those people doing their stuff while a bicycle is just driving down the hill beside me, scaring me to death. No. I think fun is that I do some crazy things from time to time. I hope to get more extroverted while I continue doing these videos. Unique is maybe, well, my age is quite unique. I'm an old man. I'm 50-something, 57 years old, and I'm doing those videos just for fun. And I think I have some life experience, and I hopefully have some reading experience that I can bring to those books that I read and to the things that I do here on this channel. So that would be my not very satisfying answer to question number 2. Third question is, what are you most excited about this new channel? While I walk up the hill, I think a while and come with the answer in a few seconds. I'm most excited about learning so many new things here concerning YouTube and how to make videos, how to make end pictures, how to make an intro, how to tag stuff, and how to connect all the social media. And I'm mostly excited about the fact that I have a good chance to connect to other people who have the same interests all over the world, and that's the most exciting thing for me with this new channel. Question number 4 is, why do you love reading? Well, I'm standing in front of this cafe called Lyran here in Bredäng. So why do I love reading? Well, I guess that I love reading because it's a way of learning so much different things about the world, about the human condition, about people live in other situations, on other continents, in other social surroundings. I've learned so much while reading them, and fantasy and stories are always inspiring for me to read more and maybe one day even make my own sort of fiction. Behind me is Lyran, the cafe that you saw when I asked the question. It's a very famous cafe here in Bredäng outside Stockholm. In the 19th century, people like Henrik Ibsen, Björnstjerne Björnson and Selma Lagerlöf were here and had their coffee and their cakes. So this is quite a literary place where 3 of the most important authors of Scandinavian literature have been and have taken a cup of coffee. Yeah, ahead of me, the deserted streets of Bredäng, a Stockholm suburb. And we come to question number 5. And question number 5 is, what got you into reading? So what got me into reading? When I was like 12, 13 years old, in my early teens, my father had a shop in Odenkirchen, which is a part of Mönchengladbach, where I come from in Germany. And after school, I came very often to the shop, which was in the middle of Odenkirchen, in the middle of that suburb. And pretty close to the shop was a house where the police had their office, their local office, and there was also a library in the same building. And I think my mother took me to the library when I was like 12, 13. It was a great experience because I'm not from a family of passionate readers, but I wandered through this library and there were hundreds and thousands of books, and I walked over the creaky wooden floor and I discovered a whole new world. So that's when I started actually borrowing books. I got this card to borrow books, and I borrowed books from the library and started reading. I mean, one of the first books for adults that I read, of course, was Eric Ambler, Dirty Story, a great novel that I might come back to in my vlog one of these days. That's what got me to reading, actually, the vicinity of my father's shop to the library in Odenkirchen, Germany. Question number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? The questions that I would like to ask my favorite booktubers is, how do you guys prepare for your videos? How much time does it take? And how do you make sure when you have like a book haul or you make a review of 3, 4, 5 books at the same time, how do you make sure that you got all your ballpoints, all your points that you want to have in the video really inside the video, if you are sort of holding a monologue that is not being guided by a teleprompter or something like that? So how do you do that? What challenges do you think are the hardest to overcome while starting a new Booktube channel? That is question number 7. Okay, let's speak about challenges for this new channel. Challenges are obviously that technical challenges. I want to get the sound right, I want to get the lights right, I want to have no mirrors in my glasses. And another challenge, of course, is to get enough subscribers to carry on, to get the motivation to carry on. But hopefully that is going to take some patience, because you have to do like 15, 20 of these videos in order to sort of continue and get the motivation to do like 2 or 3 videos per week. So these are the challenges, but I see them most technically because I have the patience and I know a little bit about social media. So hopefully I'll get more than the 12 subscribers that I have right now. So subscribe to the channel after you've seen this video, please. Weather could actually be a little bit better, couldn't it? This is Mälarhöjdenskola, if I remember it right. Mälarhöjdenskola. I think it's a school for kids between 6 and 15, 16 years. The question number 8 for my Booktube Newbie Tag video. Question number 8 is simply, when did you start reading? So I started reading when I was like 5 years old. I could read, but of course I wouldn't read books then. I would read small pieces, names, things like that. We started reading stories. I don't remember actually when we did that. In school we read a lot of things. So I started reading when I was really reading books when I was a teenager. With 12, 13, 14 years I started to get books, but mostly for adults. I wasn't reading YA at the time. That came a little bit later for me. So I would say I started reading when I was 13 years old. Question number 9, and question number 9 is simply, where do you read? So, where do I read? Oh my god, mostly at home. Mostly at home, at my desk, probably, but I can read everywhere. I can read on trains, I can read on buses, I read on airplanes. But right now we don't travel on buses, we don't travel on trains, we don't travel on airplanes. I read in hotels. But usually Right now I don't stay in hotels, so mostly I read at home right now. That's simple as that in the corona times that we live in. So we're coming to the 10th and final question when I'm entering this beautiful little park here in the suburb of Västertorp outside Stockholm, Sweden. The 10th and final question in my Booktube Newbie Tag video is: what kind of books do you like to read? So what kind of books do I like to read? Final question. Well, I read all sorts of books. I like to read books that tell me and teach me anything about the human condition. I like to read things about normal people, mostly normal people actually. That's why I'm looking forward to read, for example, Lone Goldie's Nightingale Point. People like you and me. I like to read crime novels at times, thrillers, espionage. I also like to read non-fiction that teach me about how the world is shaped and how the world is changing. So I read all sorts of books, and I hope to do some more reading today when I get home, continuing Tash Oz, We the Survivors, to give you a review about this book on Thursday as it is planned. I got a lot of things to do until then. So this is my Booktube Newbie Tag video. Hope you like it. Subscribe to my channel. Ask questions, ask further questions, tag me, do whatever you like. But come back and be safe. Thank you very much and have a beautiful Saturday evening.